But to me, the issue under law is, and this would be international law that we're talking about, is the person in the water hors de combat or out of the fight? So as we've heard, different lawmakers say different things about that. Obviously, I have not seen the video myself, but the commander is the one with intelligence. And even if we see the video, there's things not on the video that are going to be important to the calculus of whether these people, as have been reported, hanging onto the boat, trying to flip the boat over, are in or out of the fight. Being out of the fight is out of the fight. So if they're engaged in any type of activities, then I would argue that it is not a violation of the law of war. Now, having said that, just because something is legal doesn't mean that a commander must pursue that action. He may have other options. Even if you watch that video, you've got to know, okay, how far off of the coast of Venezuela was this boat? Where are there other forces? If they're saying they're calling other people, where are those people? Where are the US forces in relation to all of this? So those type of things not on the video would be important to me to know whether these people were truly engaged in the fight or not. And the hard part is when we talk about hors de combat, we're really talking about someone floating around in the water helpless. And the initial descriptions, at least that I've heard from Senator Cotton, don't describe that.
This is the problem with this whole premise that there's an armed conflict. There's not, okay? And there was no fight to get back to as a result. What we have are two men who were struck out of the blue by an airstrike, okay, clinging in desperation to a vessel and trying to ride it so they don't drown, okay? Seems an incredibly horrific situation, and then the U.S. government kills them, okay? The premeditated killing of people outside of armed conflict we typically refer to as murder. Well, we need more transparency across the board. We need the video, full videos, not just of the attack on September 2nd, but for all the attacks, as horrific as these snuff films might be. The American public needs to be confronted with them. Hopefully, it will move the needle in terms of public sentiment and sentiment of focus on Capitol Hill. We need the legal opinion from the Department of Justice that blesses these attacks in some way. And we need a full accounting of the policy processes that led to this boat bombing campaign and what's actually going on within the military, the Pentagon. What are they actually targeting? Who's giving what orders? I think this all needs to be drug out into the sunlight. And so there's a lot of work for Congress to do in terms of oversight, and not just limited to this strike, and not just limited to the actions of the Department of Defense. Obviously, we haven't seen this video from the second. There's some speculation, and reporting on what it shows. We don't know that for certain. But again, the nuances that are less important than the overarching conclusion that these strikes are almost certainly unlawful regardless. There is no armed conflict.